The Street Pastor project has been running here on the Isle of Wight since May 2009. Street pastors are a group of Christian volunteers that go out onto the streets late at night on a Friday night. Currently we're doing between the hours of 9:30 in the evening and 3 o'clock in the morning. We go out in teams of 5 or 6 and we will meet people's needs where they're at. I am the coordinator of the scheme on the Isle of Wight. It's probably the best job I've ever had. A typical Friday night would involve meeting a lot of young women that have had too much to drink. So they will go out wearing nice high heels, they'll go to the club, they'll be walking back from the pub or the club, the shoes start to hurt, they take their shoes off, so they're walking up the streets in bare feet. We will give them a set of flip-flops to make their journey a bit easier. We also have a bottle of water which we can give them. We carry chocolates, and we also carry personal safety alarms for women that we think would be especially vulnerable. The men that we meet on the street, we tend to just have really good conversations with men. Men come up to us, they're very intrigued, they'll ask us, why are you here, what are you doing, why are you doing it? They'll ask, do we get paid? The men are very, very practical, you know, what are you doing, why are you there? And the men are amazingly happy to talk to us. We meet people where they're at, so we don't talk specifically about God. You know, we'll talk about their jobs, we'll talk about football, we'll talk about the girlfriends, the wife, the children. We'll talk about stuff that they probably wouldn't talk to their wives about. Once they realise that we're safe and we're not going to judge them, the guys talk to us for ages, especially the young men, I would say between the ages of 20 and 30, in that bracket. There seems to be a lack of facility for these guys to talk. So when they see us and they realise that we're a good people to talk to, they talk to us for ages. Many people question us on faith. Many people question us on our beliefs. But that's not our focus to go out there. Our focus is to go out there and talk to them about whatever they want to talk about. But many times with the men we do end up talking about faith. Which we do more so than with women, which is I was very surprised about. I thought we would talk much more about faith with women. Late at night, I would say between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock, when a lot of alcohol is consumed, there is a lot of tension, a lot of aggressive situations on the streets. I believe that our presence without us saying a word sometimes can help to stop these situations becoming more violent. We will basically stand in a situation where if two guys are getting aggressive to each other, we will just stand there, just in their peripheral vision, not saying a word. We pray. Sometimes I'll go out to them and offer them sweets. Both of them, I'll say, "Hey guys, have a chocolate. You know, is everything okay?" Sometimes you just need a smile and a word from someone that is not part of the situation, that is not the police, to diffuse a situation, and it has happened many times. Just by going up with a smile, saying, you know, "All right, guys, how you doing? Everything okay?" And they'll look at you and they'll sort of snap out of the aggressive red mist that's fallen down between them. The Street Pastor scheme has been running in Ryde since we went out in May. We have, as I say, 22 volunteers going out on the streets of Ryde. I'm currently recruiting for our next wave of volunteers, and we are aiming I would love to get another 30 or 40, hopefully 50 volunteers for us to enable us to go out onto the streets of Newport. And we would be going out Easter 2010 for Newport. The plan long term is to actually have schemes in 4, maybe 5 different areas around the island. We'd like it to be island wide within 4 or 5 years. And it all depends on numbers, but the people that volunteer love it. And when they go back to their churches and they tell people how much they love it, I don't think recruiting is going to be too much of a problem. And so I can see us, you know, expanding the scheme to be island-wide within a few years. But yes, Newport is the next wave, and we'll be starting that in spring 2010.